Hi guys, hope everyone is well and welcome back. So today what I'm planning on doing is just basically walking you through what I do in a day or a day in a life, whatever you want to call it. And right, so to start off, it's basically Tuesday recording this. What I'm planning on doing today is basically training, going back, doing some more work after working this morning, and then I'll see my girlfriend tonight. That's about it, so nothing too exciting, but hopefully I can give you a nice insight into what I do in my day and why, and how I like structure my day so I'll work efficiently and hopefully take some value out of it and you find it interesting. And I'll also run you through an arm day. So during arms, it's not something that's very fun. I just think it's one of the most boring body parts to train, really. So it's not going to be much exciting. I also do a bit of back and shoulders during it. The reason being is your shoulders can never be too wide, and my back is a weakness on my physique at the moment. So yeah, that's the rationale behind that. But today's a devolume week as well. So what devolume week is basically a week of doing less sets. And the reason being is when you keep training hard over a period of time, your fatigue slowly goes up. And your fatigue is just your physical mental tiredness. And you can't just keep your foot on the gas pedal all the time. You need to step back and let fatigue drop, because higher fatigue gets, the more it masks performance. So when your fatigue goes up, your performance will go down. Yes, you can still progress while getting fatigued, but really your progress in terms of like how you could perform may be going up like that, but your performance may actually be going like that, if that makes sense. So probably not the best way to demonstrate it, but hope you got the grasp of that. So basically, if I take a deload week or devolume week doing less sets, I won't be as tired basically by the end of it. As a result, I'll be able to perform better. Since I can perform better, I can lift more weight for more reps, which means more muscle, and it's basically just repeating that process. And that's what builds muscle, really. So yeah, starting off, I've just had meal one, and what I'm planning on doing is always try and work the first 2 hours in the morning before training. The reason being is this is a time I function best and enjoy working the most, and it's nice to like split up your day, because if I just go to the gym first thing and then I'm working for the whole day, it's hard to stay focused. Like working the whole day, you procrastinate, etc. Whereas if I get 2 hours of work in the morning, I'm really productive during this time, and I just make the most of it, really. And yeah, it's just been the most efficient. And so to start off, what I like to do in the mornings is simply basically do a bit of journaling, or whatever you call it. I just write down what I want to achieve in the day, things, and I just write down like what I'm grateful for, and like emotions to focus on, etc., and just additional tasks or things I need to do to the day. Might sound a bit weird and just a weird thing to do, I know, but just practicing gratitude, I think it's got a lot of benefits. It just makes me not a grumpy bastard throughout the day. And in terms of things to achieve, I think just literally just writing things on paper and then ticking them off when you achieve them, it releases dopamine, which is basically like our happiness hormone. And we get like good sensations from it, if that makes sense. So you want to do more of it. It just helps me keep productive and prioritize my tasks, so I actually get things done during the day. So yeah, I'm gonna jump into some work. I'm gonna be reading this as well. I've just got it. It's called Why We Sleep. So yeah, really looking forward to this. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I have like member sites and that if I want to learn something in particular and expand my knowledge. But I do like just reading, just so I can still type when I'm older. I'm not a muppet, and I just like to get like knowledge in from different sources. I don't like shoving all my eggs in one basket, and it's not always easy to get like information on things like sleep online, if that makes sense. I think it's just valuable reading now and then on certain topics. So usually I find, sorry I'm rambling on here, but usually I find if I want to like learn about training or things like that, or just like practical things in the gym, it's better to like join member sites and look at information online. Whereas books, it's, I don't know, you can't see it in person, or not in person, but you can see it on the screen. They don't walk you through it, so it's quite hard to interpret things. Whereas I don't mind reading things like nutrition and sleep. It's easy to understand enough. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with this. Hope everyone has a great day, and I'll probably see you at the gym next. Hi guys, so just got to the gym there now, and like I said earlier, it's a devolume session, so gonna be nothing that exciting. So just arms today, but however they are one of my weak body parts I believe, so definitely still an important session to get in, although I don't really enjoy it that much. But I'll make sure to try and like film some of the exercises and tell you what cues I use during them, and give you a wee bit of an insight like last episode on how they're structured, like the way they are in terms of the order. And like I said, I've always got a bit back first. I'll film that, give you some cues, and like I said earlier, just because it's a bit of a weakness in my physique. So starting off, whenever I go in the gym, I like to just do some mobility work to start off. So what I basically aim to do is take my joints through a full range of motion. So you see here I'm internally and externally rotating at my shoulders. And the reason being, it does look stupid, I'm aware of that. I do look like a muppet in the gym, but I think if you don't enter ranges of motion and you don't take your joint through like a range of motion, you're not going to be able to maintain it, if that makes sense. So for example, if I never put my arms over my head, I'm probably not going to have the ability to do that if I never ever do that, because why would my body have the need to do so? And same with being stable. So if I never spend time there and fully contract my muscles, then I'm not going to have much stability there, because the wee muscles won't be firing. And also, as weird as it might seem, here I'm just contracting my chest and then contracting my back muscles, and basically like flexing my back and extending my back. And another benefit of this, I think, is it just contracts your muscles, warm your muscles up, get some blood in the muscles, so I've got less chance of injury and less chance of basically, yeah, just getting hurt. Not really anything else to it, really. And as well as that, I don't have to do as much warm-up sets. And in theory, if I don't have to do as much warm-up sets, I won't be taking my joint for a range of motion as much. I won't have as much wear and tear. And I may potentially perform better on my top sets, or my working sets, in other words. So some of the clips didn't go on until the very end because low battery mode was on, so it just caused my phone to cut off, which is a pain. But started off with the pull down. What I'm basically focusing on here is just leaning back but keeping my spine neutral and dragging my elbows down, keeping them in front of the body. Next up, I've got bicep curls on the pulley system. So I quite like this movement. This targets your bicep in the stretched position and the mid-range, so just basically where we're strongest. So this is a good movement to start off with, in my opinion, and it's nice and friendly on the elbows. I won't get into the details on why though, but what I'm basically focusing on is just keeping everything still and just bending at my elbow. I like to bring my upper arm forward a wee bit just so I get a good squeeze in my bicep. Not much more to it. I like to pause at the top as well, just to ensure I'm not moving the weight from A to B and I'm actually moving it using my bicep. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this exercise. One, because like I said, it is friendly on the elbows, and two, as well as that, it just feels a great exercise for my biceps. It feels effective. I get a great pump from it after even one set. So next up, single arm tricep extensions. The reason I do it one arm at a time, like I'm doing here, is because it basically allows me to have less stress on my elbow where it's not supposed to be going through my elbow, if that makes sense. So again, just keeping my elbows healthy, keeping them happy. And I'm using the cuff here just so I've got something stable to hold on to, because I'm not sure if you've ever done it single arm, holding on to the wee ball at the end of the pulley system. It just feels like your hand's going to slip. It's a pain, and when you're doing a set, you don't want to focus on your hand slipping or that. What you want to focus on is contracting your muscle and having an effective set for the muscle you're actually trying to target. So again, I like pausing these at the bottom and at the top slightly. Some of the pauses are too fast, to be fair, so that will get cleaned up next session. But yeah, I'm happy with how the session went. Like I said, this exercise went well, progressed at a couple reps, I believe. And when I'm doing it, I'm keeping my upper arm still. What I mean by that is it's not moving about an awful lot, because in order to use my tricep, I need to move my elbow, not my upper arm. So my upper arm's got not much reason to move. Next up is basically like a bicep curl with D handles attached onto this bar. If you don't have the bar, what you could use is one of the easy bars that attaches to it. Just loop the D handles around them. And basically what I'm focusing on here again is just trying to get my forearm to touch my bicep and squeeze my biceps hard as I can. So here, just into another superset, going on to the tricep extensions. I just basically put the pulley system up and extend my arm, squeeze my tricep hard, keep my upper arm still. So sorry about it cutting off. After that I done cuffed laterals, but then after every session, after every upper and arm session, I do some posing. So this is something extremely important if I want to compete in bodybuilding, because how you present yourself on stage can make the difference from being first or last. So yeah, something very important. So right now, not really at the body composition I'm happiest with. My body fat's a bit higher than I like, but my performance is going really well in the gym. So that's basically what matters during this period, because at the end of the day, staying lean's nice, but that's not how I'm going to build as much muscle as possible. So it's important to really focus on your long-term goals when like thinking about doing a diet, because if I done a diet now, then it's not going to help me much. Yes, I'll be lean for a short period of time, but I won't perform well, I won't be able to make much progress. Whereas if I focus on the long-term goals, I'll make much more progress, and then when I do diet down in the future, I'll have much more muscle to show for it, because we know we build the most muscle when we're in a calorie surplus. So I basically finish each session, like I said, with posing. After a pose, I basically do some mobility work as well at the gym, as well as doing it when I'm home. So just the things I can't basically do at home due to equipment. Alright guys, so that's that session wrapped up. Good session, but like I said before, nothing exciting really. Just working away, beating the logbook, not really much exciting lifts to talk about. But yeah, hope you enjoyed seeing the sessions and the walkthrough of the movements. But in terms of what I'm doing now for the rest of the day, I'm not sure what else I'm going to film really. I'm not up to much. My days aren't the most exciting, but yeah, basically got finished with training. Every time after training I do some like stability work for my shoulder, because one of my shoulders have got poor stability, and that basically impacts my pressing, so that's obviously not ideal. So I do what I can to try and improve that, because if being stable is a limiting factor in my pressing movements, that means that my muscles aren't, like my chest isn't going to be like the limiting factor when I'm doing like a dumbbell press. And obviously that's not ideal, because I like to train to failure, and then my sets won't be as productive. So yeah, gonna head home now. I'm obviously gonna wash because I'm fucking ringing. It's so hot out here, especially in my car, and then get my mobility work done, and then I'll probably film a bit more wrapping up the video, or if we've got anything else to talk about, I will do then. So see you. Alright guys, so 7:30 now, I'm getting my last meal in, so got an after plan meal tonight. So basically a Chinese. Anytime like I'm eating something that's off my usual diet, I just basically to ensure something that digest really easily, because like this deep into a gaining phase, I'm like something like 30 something pounds up. I don't want to choose something that just upsets my digestion, because if you're not digesting your food well, you're not utilising it well. So yeah, that's the rationale behind eating a Chinese tonight. It's just basically chicken and rice, and obviously like a sugary sauce and that, so not too bad at all. So basically I'm staying at my girlfriend's tonight. We're just going to watch a movie and basically relax. I always try and basically switch off from 8 o'clock and onwards, and not do anything like stressful or strenuous before bed, just to make sure I'm in a relaxed state and I sleep well. So I basically done that after the gym, obviously washed, done some mobility work, and then went. So I usually do a bit more work, but we've not seen each other for a good 5 days, so that's why I've basically went to my girlfriend's a bit earlier than usual, but usually it's around 5. So that's basically my day, not much else to go over. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe and like if you did.